was a crummy version, but it was all that was available, and it was a reel that Rainier had for like just to have. It was on a little DVD, and
it was the best they had.
Best they had, yeah. It had a time code stamp over the whole entire thing, which always bugged us. But it's just this spinning time code the whole time. And our buddy Isaac was having lunch with us and goes, I forgot about these old ads. He's like, they're really cool. I wonder if the original film exists anywhere. And we're like, oh, that'd be cool. We could upgrade our little tiny TV in this tiny room in this tiny bar. That'd be awesome. Let's look for it. So we started asking like the Rainier reps, and we started
every
asking
museum in Seattle.
Museums. We started then we reached out to, we found out who did the ads, which there's not a lot of information about this whole campaign on the internet, but we were able to find out there's Heckler & Associates, and who's a big part of this movie. But they were like, we have some stuff in some boxes somewhere, but we don't have the original film. And so we kind of gave up. We were like, it's not going to find that. It's rare that a commercial campaign even saves film, if you think about it that way. But our buddy,
I think we gave up on day 13.
Yeah, it's pretty early on.
And on day 14.
Yeah, so Isaac, the guy that proposed this concept, was volunteering at the Washington State Historical Society, and he was in the archive room with a guy named Ed Nolan, who's an amazing guy, and he's just chatting him up, and he goes, well, Isaac, what kind of projects you working on? And he goes, oh, well, we're doing this and this, and we're really looking for some Rainier footage. And I'll keep it short, but he basically, the next week was like, hey, you mentioned that Rainier thing, check out this, and he shows him this giant wall of film reels.
Here.
At least from here on, of film reels. So the film canisters, and they're full of, you open a canister and it's just full of reels. Some of them were labeled, some of them weren't. And we basically,
Isaac was also the guy who went through
and we hand wound every reel and
drank through the whole entire thing
to make notes of what it was, because in the museum it was just in there. They don't have a film department, so no one was able to say what it was. So we actually, for the museum, ended up handing them a detailed book of everything that they had, which is cool. But
also, it's really expensive to process film, so we went through all of it so that we could only process what was necessary.
And to get the movie started, I just want to say one more thing, and maybe Rob too, but when we found those film reels, it wasn't just the finished commercial. It was outtakes. There was 16 millimeter making of the commercials, which is really cool, so you get to see some of the people that we talked to working on the commercials. There was film that they used just for the advertising, or for the sales team.
So they would kind of work there to see it basically.
Yeah,
and
so
you had to work there that specific year.
So they make end of the year like long sales pitches to get everybody pumped, but they did them in the same style as the commercials. So there's a lot of weird stuff that we fill in. Almost the movie entirely is basically
It's comprised 90% of
90% the commercials and out footage and stuff. We did have to film some things, but most of it's interviews and stuff like that. But anyway, if you guys got questions afterwards, we'll probably just be hanging out, slinging some merch or something. So feel free to ask us. Thanks for coming.